Houston on this cycle and went to the Saltgrass Trail Ride termination at Memorial Park. This is the trail ride that's in support of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Let's see what it's all about. All right, so this is Bob Hendrickson. We're out here traveling with Parkinsons and waiting for the Saltgrass Trail Riders to come back. And I found this gentleman right here. You know who I am, but we don't know who he is. Let's ask. What's your name, sir?
My name's Tim Bronagle with the Valley Lodge Trail Ride.
Valley Lodge Trail Ride.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you do?
Well, I was a trail boss in 2004, 5, and 6. And now my daughter was born on the ride. Mama went into labor here on one night.
Wow.
She's 26 and she's a scout, so she keeps me coming. And this is my 35th year here.
Wow, no kidding.
I used to sit when I was a kid watching them on TV with my scabbard on and my guns and acting like I was a cowboy.
I'll be darned. Well, you know what? Tell me about it's cold and windy and wet this year, like is every year, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, some years we got hot weather where we wish we had some cold weather. This year we had a lot of cold weather.
Freezing rain, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I
we
had.
Some freezing rain. It was 36 all day yesterday, and it finally got up to 46.
Oh my God.
But the days prior were pretty tough, but it made us more tougher on riding. You know?
Okay, very quickly. How many days is it?
We ride 5 days.
5 days?
Yes, sir.
And how far is that?
About 80 miles.
Where'd you start?
Where'd you
begin?
Texas.
Orchard?
Brookshire, Texas.
Brookshire, heck, I was just, my farm is out there. My
we start
grandparents'
out
farm is in Brookshire.
on Highway 90, right there by the police station, and go through all Fulshire and all that.
I have been there. I'll tell you about it later. I'm tied up in that area too. All right, well, thank you very much, sir. What was your name again?
Tim Bronagle.
Tim, thank you. Well, you know what that sound means, folks. We're going to have another tip traveling with Parkinsons, and this is probably the best one I've ever had. You're going to need this one. Well, good morning, folks. It's Bob Hendrickson here, as you know, traveling with Parkinsons. And I am traveling with Parkinsons. We are here in San Antonio, just west of San Antonio, as I'm heading back to Arizona from Houston. When I get to El Paso today in a few hours, I'm going to be more than halfway there. The geography of this is amazing to me every time. And I'm from Texas. But I've still got 500 miles to go to get out of Texas, and I'm over halfway yet. So something came on my email this morning. Actually, yeah, Facebook email, something. And it was a presentation that was given to the Phinney Foundation for living well. And it's a presentation on Parkinson's disease. It's called The Parkinsons You Don't See, Cognitive and Non-Motor Symptoms of Parkinson's disease. It's probably the best, I don't say probably, it is the best I've seen since I started Parkinson's disease. My struggles with it 14 years ago. As you know, I've had the DBS, and I've had a lot of, 14 years, a lot of time to work out dosages, different medicines. They've tried all kinds of things on me, and I guess you can tell I'm doing pretty well. Not perfect, but very well. The presentation was done by Joanne Hamilton. She's a PhD and ADP, whatever. She's got all the letters behind her name. She's a very smart lady, and she gives this presentation, and I'm going to link it wherever I don't know. I'm going to put the link not only somewhere down below the video. I think you're supposed to put the links down there. I'll also put a link to a pamphlet that the Phinney Foundation puts out called "Every Victory Counts," and it's got some tools and some things that Parkinson's patients can use to understand the disease and what it means to them. It's very, very important about this non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease. As she says, you go in and get your diagnosis. He says, yeah, you got Parkinson's disease, and he hands you your Cinnamon. See you in 3 months. And they don't talk about constipation. They don't talk about falling asleep in the middle of the day, sleep attacks. Well, we've talked about sleep attacks, haven't we? in a more mundane sort of user-friendly way. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try to pretend to be one. But yeah, we've talked about sleep attacks, haven't we? So, I mean, that's just one of the many things she talked about. It's a 26-minute video, so schedule it and sit down and watch it. And I think that you will find that you need to watch it with your caregiver, too. You're going to watch it 2 or 3 times. And then you're going to be like me, and you're going to run back to your computer, and you're going to say, hey, to all of your friends and all of your relatives and everybody that knows anybody with Parkinson's, they should watch this thing, because this woman is excellent. Her definitions of dementia, for instance, really put it in the proper perspective And she doesn't use scare tactics, but she will give you the straight skinny on what you got.
We'll talk more about it at the end, but let's look at something else for now. This was my high school reunion and how I felt about it. I promised you this. I've debated whether or not I should put anything in here about it at all because it drove me nuts to even talk about it. But in the interest of full disclosure, here it is.
Well, the time has come, the walrus said, to speak of many things. Flying around above the ground in gas tanks, wearing wings. That's what I said on assignment tonight. Wrote it in the yearbook there at pilot training because I was so utterly disappointed to get a tanker. I wanted a fighter. I wanted to fly upside down with my hair on fire, and never did get to do that because they gave me this big-ass million-pound thing full of gasoline where I went out and gassed up other guys so they could go fly upside down with their hair on fire. Hey, it was a good job, and I enjoyed it after I got used to it. But that was the only other day or night in my life that was any lower than the night I had at my high school reunion just Friday night. Took a girl from the local area. I say local, New Braunfels. It's right here in Texas. It's not 200 miles from Houston. So everybody there was within about 200 miles, except for maybe one or two of us. When they said, who traveled the furthest, we held up our hands. One guy from North Carolina and somebody else from Oklahoma, and me. I could come from Maine or Arizona or California or anywhere you want to slice it, where I lived in New Hampshire. All those places I'd come from, any one of them was the furthest anybody came to this thing. So I didn't know anybody, and I'm probably the only one there that didn't. Maybe not the only one, but 50 years is a long time. A lot of people on the internet saying, hey, you coming? Yeah, I'm coming. So we set this up just a little bit. 750 people in my graduating class. 118 people showed up for the reunion. Probably about 100 of those were former students, and the other was dates, or wives, spouses, things like that. So out of 100 people, I don't think anybody knew me. I think anybody knew my name. I walked up and looked at my name tag and said, Bob Hendrickson? Who the heck are you? Or they say, yeah, I remember you. You were in my drafting class. I was? I was in your homeroom. Yeah, okay. So, and then they would walk off. It's like, he's not interesting. They'd walk off. I don't know if it's Parkinson's or I was trying to be engaging and fun and smiling. Hi, how are you? You know, all that stuff. I really gave it a try. I really did. It had absolutely no effect. So after a while, I stayed right till the end, see if anybody was going to change their mind, and walked a couple people that I had really come there to see. One of them, an old friend who used to crawl in my window at night. And it's like I didn't even exist. So anyway, I don't know why that was, but the next day they opened up the museum at what was the old high school site. I went out there and took me, they opened at 12 and it was going to go till 12 to 2. So I went and tried to open the doors to get in. 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, they were all locked, and I got the 5th one, opened it, and it's all glass. They're watching me inside. There's 20 of them standing around, 15, 20 of them standing around inside watching me get in these doors. When I finally got in and said, wow, it's open. Okay, fine. Thank you. Wonderful. Great. I was standing there and they all looked at me like, what's he? Who is he? What is that? An orangutan or gazelle? I'm not sure what that is over there. And they kind of went back to talking to each other. Never said a word to me. 20 of them. I hear them, they're making arrangements for where they're going to go afterwards. Oh, we're going to meet at this bar. We're going to do there. They're all making their plans, and they walked out and never said, boo, hi, how are you, by your leave, anything. Beep you, anything, nothing. They just walked out. I said, wow, that was pretty nice. Yeah. just amazing. The whole weekend went like that. So I'm just, this is Tuesday. I'm halfway back to Arizona now, but just a little bit to El Paso, and I'll be halfway. So it was miserable. I had a terrible time. I'm never going back to Houston until the next time. I'm not going to go back for a reunion, I can tell you that. There's just nobody there for me. Everybody else had a great time, though. But I guess the lesson to that is you can never go back or lower your expectations or whatever it is.
So if you have Parkinson's disease, I know that you, like I, hate pity parties. We've got pity parties all the time. People pitying you, and then if you ever fall into that trap, you're going to be like I was in this one coming up. I didn't want to put this up there, but as my friend convinced me that I should put up this part of it so that you can get the lesson out of it. This will not be a tip for traveling with Parkinson's. It's a pity party, actually, but maybe you need to see it, and maybe you'll need to write me back and tell me do it more or do less. But you need to know this stuff, I guess, too. So here is my pity for Bob.
Well, it's Saturday, February the 26th at 2:30, and I'm out here in the middle of West Texas, not West, around my grandfather's and grandmother's farm called Brookshire and Fulshire. I'm headed down to Rosenberg. So take those three and make a triangle, and that's kind of where I am, tootling around down here with no place to really go. Why do I have no place to go? Well, yesterday was the grand reunion of my senior class, 1971 graduating class, Spring Branch High School, and I have been looking forward to going and meeting up with the people that I remember from high school. And with a graduating class of 749, I figured some of them would still be alive. Most of them are gone, but I mean, there were a few of them still around. We had 118 people there. That doesn't mean that all those people died. I probably had a death roll of about 60, 65 people out of that class. That's not a bad number, but some of my favorite people were on that list. And that was kind of shocking and sad, and some people I didn't know had passed that I was looking forward to seeing weren't there. Carrie Cornelius, Cully Walters, Mike Barnett, and just some friends, and then of course all the people that I knew that had passed, like David, and Kip, and they're in the book, I guess. But I was not prepared for the wholesale lack of depth, I guess, of the people there. This being on the road alone business is fun and it's free, but the lessons out here are hard and you got to take them alone. You better be strong. Sometimes I don't feel very strong.
Hey Otto, what happened? Why'd it go quiet?
Well, Sancho, I guess he said what he had to say.
Well, what'd you shut up so quick for? I don't like that. Otto? Otto?